Hello and welcome back to the workshop. Today we're going to be making a paring knife from our Builder Knife box. We're actually not going to make one, we're going to make two. Jamie is going to make the second. And the whole idea of this is we want to help encourage you guys to get out there and make your own knives. We saw a ton of awesome knives after the Builder Knife box that Will filmed in December, the Scout. And so we have another project for you to build along with. And this is a more culinary oriented project in a paring knife. Now you use a paring knife when you're no, you don't. It's for small little cutting tasks in the kitchen. You'll see within the kit we have some pin stock for you, some Makata scales, and a wee little drill bit. Now we want you to build along with this project, which means that we want to send these boxes to you, which is why we're glad that we use ShipStation, who's our sponsor. Check them out at the link below. Use code FORGE up at the microphone to get yourself a 60-day free trial. We're gonna get right into building this knife. So Jamie, the first thing that we need to do is we need to get a little bit of Sharpie. You could use blue Dykem. We're gonna paint along the edge, and we're gonna scribe ourselves a center line. I just broke a fingernail while racking the lens.
You're joking.
No, I'm serious. Look, you know when like you bend
a fingernail.
You know when you bend a
Oh, I broke a fingernail.
To mark our center line, we're going to find a drill bit that's about the same thickness as the blank. We'll get the web of the drill bit going straight up and down. Hold it still. And right there, that is a poor man's height gauge. We can do a little mark out of what our bevels want to look like. They want to be like this, so the key, Jamie, is don't go too far back. It's into the grinding room now, and we're going to be tucking into this kit of belts. Also got some Rogue epoxy that we'll use to glue the scales. We've got these from 2x48 to 1x30 to 2x72. So for whichever grinder you got, you'll be sorted. First thing will be the 36 grit. These knife blanks were laser cut by our friends at Send Cut Send. It's an online laser cutting service with no minimums, and we always have an affiliate link in our description, so check them out. To get this grind line coming further back down, we're going to change the way we support it, move our thumb down. Where we aim the pressure of our thumb is generally where it grinds. And so we'll aim progressively further and further back until it comes all the way down. Every time you take a pass, this is all you're doing to change the angle. You bring your thumb down, you rock that bevel back. You're talking about that much gap. You need to bring that edge, that bevel, raise that angle up to compensate. There we go, that's better. Grinding bevels is difficult because you've really got to put pressure on to get anything definite enough to work from. Well, that looks way better. So next up, what we got to do is we got to finalize the transition from tang into the blade known as the plunge line. And frankly, the easiest way to do that is to use a file guide. Now this is pretty cool. This is a brand new Bill Benke file guide. Apparently this is the episode of talking about all the products that we sell. It's got carbide faces on it. This one is more compact than most normal file guides, which is actually really cool. And this will allow us to bump up against the edge of the belt and let the edge of the belt grind away that excess material without going too far. How fast do you think I can do it? 3, 2, 1, go. And time! Make sure you don't tighten it too hard. These are not clamps. No, don't do that. Gentle. I said don't tighten it too hard. It's not a clamp.
Got him!
Oh, good one. He pranked me. Right, let's have a look, Jamie. I'd say it looks pretty good. Not too bad at all. So we are pretty much ready for heat treat, apart from I let the edge on mine get a little bit too thin, and you don't want to quench with an edge that thin, so I'm going to trim down some of the profile. The first thing that we're going to want to do is normalize it. That means we heat the blade up till it's a very even, dull red, about 830 degrees Celsius or so, and then we let it air cool. This helps refine the grain structure within it and distribute the stresses. And it's just an overall rad thing to do, man. Now that it's normalized and it's a little extra soft, it's actually a great opportunity to countersink these holes, which makes life way easier. Now we'll get it hot for the quench. Though it looks like it, we're not quenching in hot dog, we're actually quenching in quench oil, but you can use vegetable oil or canola oil if that's all you can get. Okay, only need to quench the blade. In we go. Top tip, don't breathe the smoke. Oh wow, it's picked up one mighty warp. Can we straighten it? Hey, I straightened it pretty well, actually. Is it straight?
Yeah.
Oh, it's straight? Yeah, it's perfect. Holy crap, it's way straighter than mine. You almost dropped it on your foot. That's how close it was to being dropped. Quick little trip into the tempering oven, high tech. 200 Celsius for 2 cycles of 2 hours. Here are the knives out of the tempering oven, or I should say the pizza cooking oven. All right, what we now got to do, Jamie, we're going to go to 120 grit belt on these bevels and clean them up. We want the edge to be about 5/1000ths of an inch thick. We're going to pluck through our lovely shredders and put the 120 back on. Our knives are looking very nice at 120. Now onto the 220 Shredder J-Flex. The next grip from the pack is one of these structured belts from Combat Abrasives. This is about equivalent to a 400 grit, I believe. I could be wrong, but here we go. Whenever you're trying to clean up these plunge lines, what you want to do is have it so your belt is hanging off just a smidge. This isn't enough. About 1/8 of an inch should be good.
Right, what do we got to do now then?
Let's have a look. Now, do you want to do hand sanding? Because if you do, you can start hand sanding.
Yeah, sounds good.
It looked like through gritted teeth you said that you wanted to do the hand sanding. I have to work on straightening this tang because my tang got all out of whack in the heat treat. So either I'm going to heat it and straighten it, or I'll have to grind it and grind through the scale. There's Jamie, this is mine. At last, I think I have finalized my favorite way of fixturing things when hand sanding. You put a massive, huge blob of hot glue on your bit of wood. You don't glue it straight to your blade, you put some blue masking tape on. Then with your edge hanging off the edge ever so slightly, you lay it down, then the hot glue sets, it holds it perfectly, there's no risk of scratching the underside of the blade because the blue tape is holding it still. And this is a good way to hand sand blades, keep them steady, and save having to mess around with clamps like we used to do. Please go forth and spread this message. Ready?
Nope.
You ready?
Nope.
Alright, mugging me off. We're gonna use... off, Jamie, you Now we're going to use a similar method to start drilling the holes in our scales. Now this is fully learnt from John Saunders at Saunders Machine Works. This time both parts get blue tape. You put some super glue down, and now you're gluing blue tape to blue tape. We'll put our supplied drill bit into the drill. Find the hole, peck on through. Then afterwards it just breaks off the tape. Each kit comes with 2 pins. We cut each of these into 3, we'll have 6 pieces. Then now we'll take some of our pins, press the 2 scales together. We'll now hack off a lot of excess material and get the front part of our scales finished. So we'll rough up our mating surfaces with some sandpaper. And then it's time to use our new epoxy. Make sure everything's cleaned and degreased. Ah, I should cut the ends off these bottles.
You ever thought about being a clown instead of a blacksmith?
Nightmare, we don't have time for this. I should have made the pins way shorter. There we go, at last. Clean off your excess glue and clamp it up. Good to go. Wow, I'm getting high from these fumes. Jamie is just finishing his up in the grinding room. I'm taking a little bit of alcohol to clean up any of the final little bits of excess glue. I gotta say though, these things are coming out really good. I absolutely love how that G10 looks. It looks all stripy and freaking mean looking. I love it. It just occurred to me we should probably sharpen these things, so let's do that. Well, Jamie, what do you think of your knife?
I'm actually really quite happy with it. I think it turned out looking pretty cool.
Good. What you gonna cook tonight with it?
I don't know, probably going to get Wagamama's from delivery or something.
Oh, so you're not actually going to use it? Oh well. Well, anyway, the hope with all this stuff is that we get you guys motivated to get out into your workshop. Whether you're using a 1x30 grinder from Harbor Freight that you can pick up for less than $70, or whether it is you're using one of our 2x48 steel grinders, you can pick up our Build a Knife box. You've got the design squared away, all the materials, and what's more, you make this paring knife design. It doesn't have to be from our Build a Knife box, but we'd love it if it was. And you post it on Instagram using hashtag #BuilderKnife and @ing the Alec Steele Co. We're going to be giving one lucky person $200 to the online store. So we'd love to see you guys get into your workshops and build yourself a paring knife. It's a real challenge. It's a super thin blade, and I hope it gets a fire lit under you to continue practicing your blade smithing. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a ton of fun. Now, I'm sure you remember the ridiculous video I made a couple of weeks ago about making bottle openers until 2:45 in the morning. Well, as you saw, I built my Squarespace website, sold the bottle openers there, but I then integrated my Squarespace website onto shipping platform ShipStation, who's sponsoring this episode, and that's how I'm going to be doing the shipping and printing of the labels for the bottle openers. Now, because I'm here in the UK, I had to start a second ShipStation account from fresh, and it only took me about 15 minutes to be completely ready to go, integrated with my Squarespace website. Now, ShipStation integrates with all sorts of other website building platforms, as well as other selling channels like eBay and Amazon, so no matter where you sell your things, you'll be able to make your shipping process that much more efficient with ShipStation. It's got powerful automations that let you filter orders and turn your shipping into a one-click operation. I like it when things are simple and don't require lots of time, because I personally like to focus on making videos, not putting things into boxes, and I'm sure there's a lot of you business owners out there that can empathize with that. So spend less time handwriting out labels, copy and pasting addresses, and go to shipstation.com, hit the little microphone, type in code FORGE, and you'll be able to get a 60-day free trial of it, see how easy shipping can become for you and your business. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.